Welcome back to Unarmored Talk Podcast. Again, another episode and another amazing guest that's willing to remove their armor to help people gain a better understanding of how thinking changes the dynamics of living, and emotions can change it too, maybe in a bad way. I'm your host, Mario P. Fields, and today's guest is Eric Sandoval. What's going on, my friend?
How's everyone doing? Thank you very much, Mario.
If you guys are watching, you can see this amazing gentleman. If you're listening, you can hear his voice. But before I introduce professionally and personally this amazing guest, who now again professionally, he's him and I had some amazing professional connections, and then personally, he's a Marine, a veteran, and I've gotten to know him. I've had a chance to get to know him personally. Let's do the admin. Hey, here we go. About to close out the year almost. Unarmored Talk is getting ready to go strong into its third year anniversary on October the 8th. And so, we're looking forward to doing that special episode. And don't forget, continue to download. Every time you download, it generates charitable funds that's donated to Still Serving Incorporated. And we're going into another school year, making a difference with you guys, your support. And every time you download, share, watch, or even leave a comment. Okay, I'm done with the admin. You guys know the deal. Let's jump right into it. Today, we have a Marine veteran, United States Marine Corps, Super 5. Yes. Number 2, he is a real estate agent and more. Eric Sandoval. Again, my budget can't get that clap thing.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, Mario. I appreciate it. Yes, my name is Eric Sandoval. I'm an agent with Keller Williams out of Morehead City. My nickname is Mr. America. Can't spell America without Eric. And I telling you what, you shouldn't buy real estate without me either. But hey, I really appreciate you having me on, because you know what? It is a trying time that we're dealing with out here. Ain't that right, Mario?
Yeah, sure is. The market is different. The economy is like a roller coaster. And what a better person to have a real estate agent here in North Carolina. What areas are you servicing, Eric? So the listeners and viewers, if they want to reach out and have you represent them, they can find you.
Thank you very much. Well, mostly the Crystal Coast area, Onslow County, Jones, Carteret County, but pretty much anywhere on the eastern North Carolina. I'm out here eager to support you guys. So, yeah.
All right. You guys heard it. Onslow County, Jones, Carteret County, and more, Crystal Coast. If you need someone to provide you that world-class real estate need, service you, bring you a peace of mind, if you will, hey, you guys got to get a hold of Eric, my friends. Get a hold of Eric. And how can they get it? How can they get in contact with you?
You know what? Go ahead and reach out to me at sandoval.eric@kw.com. I'll reach out to you quickly and find out whatever you need and help you fulfill it.
So let's jump right into the topic.
Right.
Looking at you today, here we got this Marine Corps veteran in his passion, doing great things as a real estate agent. But from my basic understanding, Eric, the journey was like a runaway roller coaster.
Absolutely. I'll have to say that, a lot of individuals who are transitioning out of the military, they seem to think, what, if I find that dream job, bang, home run, I don't have to worry about anything again. But we both know from our experience and from hearing from others that 90% of service members transition out of their first job within the first year. Wow. And the truth of the matter is, transition is continuous, and understanding that it is going to be a roller coaster. It's never going to be ups and downs, and we're not going to know, but as long as we hold true to who we are as individuals and we keep that good center of balance, we'll be able to deflect any blows, but then also balance ourselves when there's that wobble, and we can keep moving forward. And that's right. What I think is really important.
Yeah. Now, you weren't always in North Carolina. You were in SoCal, right? Southern California, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct. I worked at one of the colleges in Southern California, and during the COVID crisis, I lost 4 revenue streams and had to transition my family all the way from California to North Carolina. Yes, sir.
Just 4 revenue streams.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Wow. And of course, you know, a lot of times we talk about external factors, you know, those things that you can only imagine may happen, but it's hard to predict.
right.
Did you see that coming, man? Like, did you?
No, and I'll be honest with you, I was gearing up to go higher on the ladder. I had
Wow.
several applications in to be a director of Veterans Affairs at 3 or 4 of the different colleges in Southern California, and I was aspiring to go further and support veterans further in the academic world. And
Right.
when that they gave us the call and said, "Hey, listen, guys, we're going to have to let some of you go." It was 15 days after I came off maternity leave.
Oh,
So,
oh, wow.
yeah, it was a big, big jolt to the system. It's like I've got a newborn. I, and the cost of living in Southern California at that time, I was renting an apartment that cost $3,200 a month.
Oh,
I think
wow.
right now, I think I looked it up. That same apartment is going for $4,300 a month,
Mm.
and to lose a multiple revenue streams, and to just totally destabilize my income was extremely challenging. So yeah.
Right. So here you are faced with this unexpected situation. At any time, did you feel hopeless, or did you go, man, what am I going to do now? I got a
uh,
newborn,
yeah,
man. How am I going to make this happen?
hopeless is definitely a word I was familiar with over the last 2.5+ years of this. It's been a struggle. It has
Yeah.
taxed me to the core, and I have applied as many resources as I possibly could find to keep me above water.
Wow.
Semper Fi Fund, Challenge Athletes Foundation, um, Operation Rebound. There's tons of other ones that out there supporting veterans each and every single day, and I was able to leverage those, keep myself afloat. Reached out to the vet center for counseling, which was really, really a huge benefit, because a lot of us, we're dealing with some demons. We're dealing with things that we've acquired through our journey in the military, and perhaps we don't have the skill sets to work through what we're feeling, and so we internalize it because we feel like no one else will understand us. So
Mm.
we hold it all in, and it's very destructive. It was the worst thing I could have ever done, was sit there and think, I can do this on my own. So,
Yeah. And I love, Eric, how you chose you made the choice to leverage multiple resources to help you get through this, this challenging time in your life, and that's a choice. And that's what I love about this podcast, because the guests, hopefully help the listeners and viewers understand that emotions are natural, but to think is a choice. And I love how you thought through that and leverage the resources. So now you get to North Carolina. Did the turbulence slow down a little bit, or was it still about a 5.7 on a Richter scale?
unfortunately, my housing situation was in a little bit of a disarray. The tenants that were in my house on the East Coast trashed it to
Mm.
nearly unlivable. I mean, I had to put brand new flooring in, paint the walls, debug it, because it was pretty bad,
Right.
unlivable for the first few months. So I lived in an RV on our driveway until we were able to get the house to a livable status.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and I'm a disabled veteran. I've got one working arm, so if you can imagine, it's just I would say that the most biggest thing to struggle with as a service member who has a disability is that at one point in time, this body and this mind was capable of almost anything.
Right.
And then now I'm a diminished version of myself. The challenges are just as intense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of the pieces of advice I'd like to share is that know that there's always life after every tragedy.
I like that.
Because a lot of people, they go through a tragic moment in their life and they're like, oh, I just want to end it, right? It'll all be over with if I just end it. But the
Right.
reality is there's so much more to experience beyond that. If I would have, lost my life or taken my life prior to getting out of the military, I wouldn't have my son, who's 3 years old, and I got a whole universe to explore as a dad. And so for me to, if I would have quit, it, I wouldn't be here now. So
Yeah. Lady, everyone, you guys heard it. There's so much more to life, and than the current challenge you're in. Although it may seem like the current situation is overwhelming, and there's nothing outside of it. Like Eric said, there's a lot outside. I think last global census report says about 8.5 billion humans, which to me translate into a lot of land and opportunity. So now you're a real estate agent. You're a realtor. I mean, I've
mhm,
talked to you. It got wonderful advice. You've helped me a lot, and I
thank
know
you.
you're going to continue to help a lot of people. And it seems like you're in your passion now. So talk to me about it.
Well, I think sometimes we fight ourselves, right? I've always been one who could talk on his feet, dynamic, engage with individuals, build relationships very easily. I was an extremely successful recruiter in the Marine Corps, New York City, during the height of the war, 2004 to 2007. I was ranked number one, number two in Eastern recruiting region. So I was able to go out there and hook and jab and perform that. And the same skill sets that were used for recruiting I use in real estate. Well, those were my God given talents. God blessed me with those talents. And once I realized that I was really good at certain things and that real estate was where all those skill sets could be fully employed,
Huh.
I was like, holy smokes, what took me so long getting here? But hey, you know, that's just our roller coaster, right? Sometimes we don't see our exit until it's already passed. Well, now we got to wait another whole rotation to come back around, right? Now I'm like, oh man, this is great. I get a chance to engage with people, help people, protect people, all those things that a military person, misses about being in the Marine Corps, right? That's exactly.
And would you say, Eric, you're like, hey, I was just trying to catch a flight from Raleigh to Charlotte. How did I end up in Cancun? I should have been here from day one.
Right,
And
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
I think you just sometimes you tell yourself what you really want to be, but then what you really should be is right over here. So
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. And looking back now, looking back on that journey, again, you get out, wonderful job, multiple funding streams, SoCal, and then boom, and then now you just in this very, very, very challenging years of challenges,
Mhm.
years, not days, not months, years, everyone. And now you found that passion by science too. It ain't even your opinion, and you're doing amazing things. Looking back on that entire journey and all those emotions you experienced and the way you thought through it, if you had to pick one thing that you would leave the listeners and viewers, what would you leave them?
I would leave with you that you're not alone. And we may feel like we're on these journeys that are just gonna beat us down, but we're all fighting a journey. We're all out there in this wilderness together. And so, if nothing else, hey bud, you doing okay? And just kind of keep checking in with each other. If there's a reason why a person was a friend on your friends list, then you know what, they're a reason to keep communicating with them. And when we stop communicating and stop checking in, that's when we start to get into real trouble.
Mm,
You let those demons and those voices in your head that are telling you you're no good or you're never going to be successful or why didn't you do this, they're only going to get louder and louder and louder unless you can fill that void with other positive conversation, right? You just got to have that positive. And I think one of the things is I've never been afraid to reach out and tell people I'm hurting. I've never been afraid to be honest about all the dumb things I've done. So, I mean, I think those two things have saved my life. So,
I love it. Everyone, you guys heard it. Eric Sandoval's living that unarmored life. And like he said, you're not alone. Even if you feel like you're alone, you're not alone. And so don't choose to go on this journey of life alone. Eric, I know you're still having fun. And so I'm not going to hold you any longer because we have some homes to sell and we have some homes to buy for some amazing clients. And I hope after this episode, you get a lot more folks coming your way so you can make them happy buyers or sellers, my friend.
well, I appreciate you, sir. And you know, you always impress me with how you're always doing more for more. Keep up the great work and Semper Fi.
Hey, Semper Fi, my friend, thank you so much for coming on the show. Well, everyone, you guys know the deal. In a couple of weeks, I'll see you with another amazing episode. But until then, be safe and God bless you and your families.